Yo, what's up guys? It's my favorite type of video to make. Ones where I talk about my football team. I've been wanting to do this kind of video for a while now. I thought to myself, you know, I haven't jinxed my team enough. How do I do it even further? I know. Predict the season. This year is shaping up to be pretty interesting for the Falcons. I mean, it's always interesting going into every season for ways for them to disappoint me. But this season in particular should be interesting because you got Michael Penix in his first year starting. You got some new defensive weapons. That's pretty much it, but listen, that's enough for me. That's enough for me. Anyways, let's not waste any more time and get into the week 1 matchup at home against the Bucks. It seems like every time Bucks and Falcons meet up, it's usually always a close game, especially Thursday night game last year. That thing was crazy. And I expect it to be the exact same here. Sure, Baker and Mike Evans are going to do their thing, but I don't know. I don't know if I fully trust the Tampa defense yet. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. I think their defense could have been a lot better last year. I think they can ink out a win, albeit a pretty close one. Week 2, they're going on the road against Minnesota. Oh god. Yeah, I honestly don't really expect this one to go well. JJ's gonna have his second start ever. Maybe his first home game? I'm not 100% sure about that. Speaking of the home environment, it's crazy down in Minnesota, it really is. I should know because I was there twice. The second game, I didn't even see my Falcons score any points, so Justin Jefferson's probably going to make D. Alford fall again, or he's going to do that to himself, honestly. I mean, I don't know why they didn't cut his... Okay, I'm getting too negative already, but for me, they ain't leaving with a win. Not going to happen. Week 3, they're going to Carolina. I think this will be a pretty good bounce back game for the Falcons if they lose against Minnesota. But again, probably not an if about that, but I'm pretty confident that they can get it done. I was really surprised that the Panthers didn't really focus more on their defense in the draft because their defense last year was kind of rough. I think a lot of this game depends on the clash between Penix and Bryce. I know, no duh, but like for real, nevertheless I do see them coming out with the dub. Week 4, oh baby, oh baby, we got a big one against Washington. It should be really fun to see Penix and Daniels clash, especially kind of how last year went. That was a good game when you don't consider, you know, Raheem Morris, you know, not doing this game in particular was the one I was the most on the fence on. I'm like, oh, they can win it? It's really hard to tell. I think if the Falcons defense shows up, if they can keep the pressure up, they can win it. Then again, though, it is Jaden Daniels. So I wouldn't be surprised to see if this was another close game. Another overtime game, no less, but... No, I don't think they're going to come out with a win here. Week 5 is their bye week, which honestly makes no sense. Number 1, it's this early in the season, and number 2, they have an international game, and you know, no bye week after the international game because you traveled all those miles. God forbid you have like a week off. Like, thanks, Roger. Freaking idiot. Okay, week 6, they're playing the Bills. They're not winning this one. Josh Allen is going to make mincemeat of the defense. And if you think he can't outdo himself, especially after marrying Haley Steinfeld, like, you're wrong. And trust me, the Bills, they're gonna be pretty good next year. Maybe they'll make the Super Bowl. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take for them to win the Super Bowl, honestly. Maybe if, like, Travis and Taylor, like, break up and it kind of forms a rift between him and Pat. And then maybe like it's kind of like, I don't know, some kind of like inner conflict kind of thing. Why am I talking about the Bills all of a sudden? I should be talking about my team. Next week, they're on the road against San Francisco. They don't. I expect the 49ers, like the Bills, to be pretty good this season. If not, then I don't know. On the road especially, it's going to be a Tall order. Thanks, NFL, for putting these 2 games, no, actually that's 3 games, on freaking national television, making me watch them probably lose horribly. Maybe we should go back to just having no primetime games if this is what you give me. Well, thankfully, I believe that this 3-game losing streak can end against the Dolphins. I don't want to sound too rude, but yeah, I know this is gonna come across. This is definitely gonna come across a little bit rude. I kind of see the Dolphins sort of declining. I mean, you had Tua get badly hurt with the 2 concussions last season. I don't even know why he was even out this, whatever. But I've also heard mumblings about like stuff from camp. Listen, I don't know the full context, but from what I know, there seems to be just kind of this, I don't know, disconnect with the whole team, but nevertheless, I do think that they'll definitely bounce back, especially after 3 losses. Like, they better be willing to win after losing 3 in a row, okay? Like, and I think at this point in the season, Penix and the guys around him are really gonna start clicking and really just get the offense rolling. Hopefully the same can be said with the defense, but we'll see about those guys because they haven't showed me anything in literal years. Okay, week 9 has them going up against the Patriots. I think the Patriots will be a pretty decent team this year. Drake Maye, yeah, that's how you pronounce it. I think he's going to have a better year. The offensive line looks pretty nice with the addition of that Michigan guy, Will. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, I'm not sorry. You know what you did to me. You know what you did to me. This one is probably going to be a close game. Falcons always have like at least one of these games where it's just like, okay, this game is close for no freaking reason, but I do think that they'll come out of Foxborough with the win, even though that they have a much more talented head coach. Ours is gonna get fired if he doesn't have a winning record, I'll tell you that much. Alright, week 10 has them going way the distance to face the Colts in Germany. It's really hard to tell how Indianapolis is going to do this year. I mean, a lot of it is depending on Anthony Richardson and if he can stay healthy and if he is, play well. I do think that they'll come out of Frankfurt with the win, as long as they, don't stay up, go into the bars. Will it be Oktoberfest? Oh God, it will be. No, it won't. It will be like in November. But like, it doesn't start in October. Nevertheless, I don't want to hear any bad stories. Let's go for the Colts too, okay? Don't even. Alright, week 11 against Carolina. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what I define as a what the hell game, which is simply a game that they should win, but they don't. And I know that has applied to like 80% of Falcons losses, but this one especially, coming home from Germany, they're probably going to be very exhausted. I don't know why they weren't given the bye week, but yeah, a what the hell game is going to happen, and it's going to happen here. I just know it, okay? I just know it. Week 12 against New Orleans. How am I going to put this? I think the Saints are going to be pretty bad. I mean, you got Derek Carr medically retiring. Quarterback room doesn't look very impressive. They're going to reap what they sow when it came to kicking the can with a lot of contracts. They're definitely going to be in a money pinch, and oh God, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. So yeah, especially at home. Lord, you better win this one. Alright, next week on the road against the Jets. Playing against Justin Fields should be interesting because guess who wanted him as their quarterback when we dumped Ritter? Now that I think about it, maybe it wouldn't have worked. I don't know. If Sam Darnold can make it work, maybe Justin Fields can. Anyways, I'm sure that they can win this one. I think the Jets' run game is still going to be pretty solid. You got Breece Hall still doing his thing. Glad he's always doing his thing. That's Iowa. Iowa representation right there. Let's just hope the game isn't like the one a couple years ago, because if it is, then maybe we deserve to lose even though we would have won. Week 14 has them going over to the West against the Seahawks. I think if I'm a Seahawks fan, I'm pretty optimistic for this season because you're bringing in Sam Darnold. And if he can play like he did last year, they can definitely be a playoff team. The home field advantage definitely applies with Seattle, even more than Minnesota, because that place can get crazy too. Listen, I didn't go there, but everyone knows how that place can get. And just like the Minnesota game, I do not expect them to come out with a win. If the defense can show up, then they definitely have a chance, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough indeed. Next week, it's Tampa. Oh boy. I think Tampa's going to be looking for revenge this game. I mean, they always are, to be fair to them boys. Them boys, man.
Them young boys coming. They are down 3-2.
I think this one's going to be a close game as well, because it almost always is. Why would it change? And I do think the Bucs are going to come out on top, especially again on the road. I know I talk about this a lot, but it does play a role. Week 16 is a battle of the birds, home against the Cardinals. I do think the Cardinals will be better than they were last year, but at the same time, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I do believe that Murray and Marvin Harris, yes, that's the guy. I think they have potential to be a really good quarterback wide receiver duo, but I don't know if they'll be that kind of team that they were like in 2021. And I think this far into the season, I believe that my Birds will definitely be more hungry to finish out the year strong. So that's why I believe they can win. But in this case, a bird wins all the time, unless they tie. I wouldn't be surprised if they tied, honestly. Okay, penultimate game of the year, home against the Rams. This is an interesting game in particular because the Falcons did make a deal with the Rams in order to get an extra first-round pick, which the Falcons used on James Pierce, which I love, by the way. I love the trade and the pick. Oh, it's too much. It's too much. Shut up. I'm not waiting for the defense to get any better. Oh, they could be better in 2 years' time. No! I want them better now. So if the Rams were to beat the Falcons, they would actually get a better draft pick. And I do believe that's what's going to happen. Matthew Stafford's probably just going to be good, like he almost always is. Alright, last game of the season against the Saints. Yeah, my thoughts haven't changed. I think they should win this game as well, especially last game of the season at home, potentially for a playoff spot. Then again, I don't remember the last time they won their last game of the season. Most of the recent seasons I've just tried to block out of my memory, so I shouldn't be surprised I don't remember. Alright, so that's all the games. In the end, they end up with a 9-8 record with 4 divisional wins to 2 losses. In my notes behind final record, I have playoffs, bracket, LMAO, so that should probably tell you the chances of playoffs this season. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed me jinxing my team even further. I know I've seen a lot of other season predictions. At minimum, I saw they had them going at least like 10-7, which is ridiculous. If I see any of you guys have them going 12 wins to 5 losses, y'all are dumb. Y'all are actually dumb. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this video doesn't age poorly. By next year's time, it will. What am I even talking about? Of course it will!